I'm just that special, you know. I felt so good. I just didn't feel the need to have a whole week off. It was obvious it was pregnancy signs. I'm just dead already. Like. Yeah. Hello YouTube, what's poppin'? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. Please, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and become a member of the official family. Alright, let's get it. Okay, so I am back with a story time, and I will tell you guys about the time I found out I was pregnant and also how I told my dad. Yes, oh my gosh, just imagine what I went through. Okay, let's flash back to last summer around, I want to say June. So I started taking birth control, and the reason why I started, it's personal. I'm just joking. No, but I started taking birth control because my period was just too long. Like, it was a little over a week, and I was like, yo, some people have it 2 to 3 days. Why mine has to be a week? I just didn't feel the need to have a whole week of, you know, flow. I mean, you know what I'm saying, like blood flowing through, you know? We all adults here, aren't we? Okay, I just didn't feel the need. So, and then on top of that, it was very painful, and I had read online some people say that they actually took some birth control pills, and while they were taking it, kind of helped with their cycles or whatever. Like, you know, their cycles were less longer. Is that a word? It wasn't as long. Let me just put it that way, because I can't seem to get my words together right now. But that's why I started taking birth control pills, and that was back in June. Now, he told me that, you know, it would take about 3 months for it to kind of get used to my body. So I was prepared, or I thought I was. So yeah, I started taking birth control, and then I want to say June. Yeah, I did start June, and July, I want to say my period came. I had my period for about 3 weeks, or a little over 3 weeks. I was like, okay, what is this? But then I remember he told me that it was going to take some time for it to get used to my body. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, let's try again. So I kept going. I kept taking my pills as I was supposed to, or at least I thought I was supposed to. So August comes around, I see my period, and this time it was just 2 days. I was like, yo, what is this magic? What is this thing that I'm taking? Yeah, I was so excited. I'm just that special, you know. I felt so good. Like, where have these pills been all my life? A few weeks later, I started having cramps. Like, my period were about to come again. I'm like, okay, maybe I got excited too early, but why though? What is this? Like, I was so emotional. I was like, it was up and down. I was excited, and then next thing you know, it was like, okay, it might come again. And it started doing that out of nowhere. I would have cramps like for maybe two minutes, and it would just go away, and no period. And I had that for about 2 weeks. I was so scared. I'm like, yo, is this thing normal? I want to go to the hospital, and then they're just gonna tell me, yo, it's probably just your birth control doing this. You're gonna pay like $1,000 just for them to check if your periods are gonna come. Like, you know, I was like, yo, I can take this. Like, a few weeks went by, it was just getting worse and worse, and I didn't have anything, no blood, nothing. So I was like, okay, now I don't think I can take this anymore. I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the hospital. I went to the hospital, and they did, you know, all the work, but they didn't do the blood test. They did the urine test and all that. And she asked me, she was like, are you on birth control? I was like, yes, I'm on birth control. And in my mind this time, I'm not, like, pregnancy is ruled out, because I'm like, yo, I cannot be pregnant. I mean, I'm definitely not. I know the pregnancy thing is like 99. The birth control pills are like 99.9, and I was like, yo, I'm definitely not in the 1%. Like, no, I can't be. I'm not. They did all the tests, and you know, she came back and she was like, oh, it's negative. We did the pregnancy test and you're not pregnant. I was like, yeah, I know that I'm not pregnant, but what's going on though? She's like, go home. If you're still feeling these pains, then come back and see me next week. I was like, okay, I will do that. I went home. Yo, that night was like a nightmare. I would wake up like 3-4 times a night to just go pee. And I was like, okay, I mean, it was obvious it was pregnancy signs, but to me it wasn't obvious then, because I mean, I didn't know anything about pregnancy, and plus, yo, I'm on birth control. Why the heck would I be pregnant? You know, I didn't do anything. What? Like, I wake up at night and have some crazy pains, and I was like, yo, I can't take this any longer. So I went back to the hospital. It wasn't even a week, but I went back to the hospital, and then she checked. They did the, you know, all the testing and stuff like that, and they did, you know, all the regular testing. They did the urine, you know, they didn't take my blood. They still didn't take my blood, but they did the urine. And then that nurse, I don't even know this nurse. Like, I don't even know her from anywhere. She just came, she was like, oh, you might have an infection or urinary infection. I said, God forbid. Like, God forbid bad things. Like, why you're trying to bring bad luck to me? Infection where? What? No. She was like, you might have urinary tract. Is it urinary tract? UTI. And she was like, UTI. I was like, what the heck? And then she was like, oh, does he hurt when you pee? I'm like, no, it doesn't hurt when I pee. I just pee a lot. And she was like, oh, I don't know, it might just be some type of infection or something like that. And I'm like, okay, good job, but not on me. But the infection is not on me. Maybe you, but not me. And so she left, and I'm like, okay, let me Google this UTI. And then I saw all the things. I'm like, yo, I'm not even having these symptoms. So yes, I'm peeing, but it doesn't hurt when I pee, so bye. And then the doctor came in, and she was like, it's positive. I was like, positive for what? What the heck? How you gonna come in and tell me it's positive? I was like, positive? Well, what do you mean positive? She's like, oh, we did the pregnancy test on you, and it came out positive. I was like, please don't lie to me, because I mean, it's not funny. And then I started like shaking. I was like, please don't, please tell me the truth. I was literally telling the doctor to tell me the truth, which she cannot lie, you know. I was like, please tell me the truth, because it's not possible. I'm on birth control. She was like, well, maybe you weren't taking your birth control, right? I said, I was. Like, I was taking them every day. She was like, were you taking them at the same time every day? I was like, well, I was taking them in the morning when I woke up. She was like, yeah, you have to take them at a certain time, and it has to be that same time every day. I'm like, really? I don't think that's the case. And I was like, she was like, yeah, we did. We took a bunch of tests, and they all came out positive. I was like, hey, my dad. The first thing that came in my mind, I was like, my dad is gonna kill me. Like, I'm just dead already. Like, I should just count myself as a dead person, because I'm just gone. I'm gone. And then she was like, are you gonna be okay? I wasn't telling her all that, but I was just thinking that. And she was like, are you gonna be okay? I was like, yeah. You know, I was like, yeah. I didn't even know what to do. I started thinking like, yo, should I take it off? What should I do? But I had to discuss with my boyfriend at the time, which is my husband now. And they said they were gonna do some blood tests on me on my next appointment to see how far I was. I didn't even know how to act, but that's how I found out I was pregnant, basically at the hospital. And let me just tell you how I told him I was pregnant, because it was obviously the same day. So if this video is kind of long, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Are you loving the gist though? Yeah. Like. Yeah. Okay, so it was done. I called him, and he was like, oh, how did it go and stuff. I was like, yeah, it went well. I didn't want to tell him over the phone. On my way home, yeah, I bought some pregnancy tests there, and those ones that tell you like the weeks, how far you are, and you know, because I knew he wasn't gonna believe me, because I pranked him like twice already. And by the way, if you haven't watched the prank video, like the lyric text prank, please check it out. The link will be in the description bar below. I bought the tests, and then I got home. He was getting ready to leave, and then I took the test. I took one test, and then I put it there. I didn't even know what to tell him. And then he was like, what is this? And first thing he said, no, he didn't say what is this. The first thing he said is, whose test is this? Because I knew he wasn't gonna believe me. Like, I knew it. He was like, whose test is this? Where did you get this test? I was like, it's mine. He was like, what do you mean it's yours? Thank God it was 2 inside. So I went ahead and peed. Like, he literally took me in the restroom. I sat down in front of him and I was peeing, and then right away it came out 3+, like 3 weeks plus. So I was already over 3 weeks, so we didn't know exactly how far I was. Like, when he saw it, he looked at me, and then he looked at it again. He looked at me. He was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is true. He was so happy. He was like, thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. And then right away he was like, I know it's gonna be a girl. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm shaking. He's like, it's okay. You're gonna see your parents. You're gonna tell them. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. So seeing him kind of motivated me, made me kind of excited, but I was still like, oh my God. But how I told my dad, and back then I was still living with my parents, obviously, and yeah, so it took me 6 months to tell my dad, like, literally. Yes, I was still living with them when I was pregnant. I was sleeping at home, you know, but we didn't really see each other much because I was going to school, he was going to work. So, you know, but then it was kind of getting cold as well, but it wasn't really too cold like that. But I guess I was like covering myself very well so he won't be able to like notice anything, because I really wanted to tell him before he noticed anything. So I told my brother when I was 5 months pregnant, and then I told him, I was like, yo, he was like, yeah, we need to tell that, you know, we have to tell that. He was going to help me tell him, and we waited for all the parties to pass, and so, you know, he won't be in a bad mood. So my brother came home. I was sitting in the dining room. My brother and him were sitting in the living room, and then he was just like, that Lisa has been with this guy for, you know, so long, and they're planning on getting married, blah, 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 and she's pregnant. And then my dad was like, what? And then he was like, well, she's grown, she can do whatever she wants, but like not in like in a, you know, whatever she wants. But he was obviously upset. You know, if your parent tells you, or your African parent tells you can do whatever you want, you really can't. So yeah, it was just the hardest day of my life. It really stressed me out, and it was just crazy. But yeah, he was really upset. He just told me, well, he didn't care and all that. But then, you know, now we're good. He cares about me, obviously, because if he didn't, he would have just been like, just go out of this house. But yeah, that wasn't the case. That's basically how I found out I was pregnant, and how I told my dad I was pregnant. Oh yeah, and when the result of my test came back, it said I was 8 weeks pregnant. So that's like 2 months in, and I didn't even know it. Although she was totally unexpected, I'm very blessed to have her, because every child is a blessing. If you enjoyed this little story time, and please don't forget to subscribe, share this video, like and comment, and let me know if you've ever had to deal with this kind of situation, or you're dealing with one right now. And yeah, just let me know down below, and we can have a conversation. Right? Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to y'all later.